Good morning, dear students. The students of 5th semester, and this portion is for your second paper. The topic is India and its relations with neighboring countries. First of all, we should know who are our neighbors. Which are those countries? Whether they are friendly with us or they have a strained relation with India. So as a students of defense and strategic study, you are supposed to know the relations with the neighboring countries and our foreign policy. For example, Pakistan is our neighbor. Though Pakistan was a part of India before 1947, it became a separate country. And Pakistan has got 3,310 kilometers boundary with us. Throughout the boundary, right from 1947, there is a harassment. There is a cross-border terrorism. Pakistan is almost a declared enemy country of India. And next is China. China, of course, was a very friendly country up to 1962. And the pact on Panchashila was signed by our Prime Minister, Mr. Nehru, and Zhou Enlai, the Prime Minister of China. We thought that Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai. That was a very popular slogan throughout the world. Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai. Up to 1962 October. And the Chinese made suddenly an attack on India in Ladakh, Nepha area. And then we understood that Chinese have stabbed at our back. And then onwards we stopped believing China. And our army was defeated in China in 1962 Chinese conflict very miserably. But it is not the inefficiency of Indian army, it is the inefficiency of our politicians. The political will was not ready to solve the Chinese problem. China should never forget India because it is India which is responsible for getting a permanent membership in the Security Council. China has forgotten that. When Japan made an attack on China, it is the Indian doctors who have gone to give medical treatment to Chinese. All that is forgotten by Chinese rulers. And we share 3,488 kilometers of borders with China, mostly very difficult area. The line between China and India is called a McMahon line. The line between India and Pakistan is called a Red Cliff line. Because some surveyors, Mr. Redcliffe made the survey and decided the border of China and India, that's why it was called a Red Cliff line. And the border between India and China was surveyed by McMahon, an Englishman once again. And that's why we call it as a McMahon line. But McMahon line and some areas of Red Cliff line, which is the border of India and Pakistan, in Kashmir area, it was mostly an hilly terrain. And between China and India also, the most of the area, the borders, are hilly areas. Very difficult to control. But anyway, these two countries at present are the declared enemies of our country, Pakistan and China. And we try to establish, according to WTO, a good relation with China. We signed the WTO Pact. Business was conducted. Every year thousands of crores of rupees business is done with China. China is mainly depending on India for its market. But even then, it is not a believable country. And Pakistan is known for sending its trained terrorists. As Pakistan has become a training center for the terrorists. And they are sending regularly the terrorists into India to create a disturbance in India, thinking that there is a major Muslim population in India and they will help them. But once again they are dismayed. Maybe 1 or 2 persons may be helping Pakistan, but all Muslims in India are not helping Pakistan. They are thorough nationalists. Some of them are thorough nationalists. I will give you one example. Abdul Hamid, in 1965, a gunner destroyed nearly 6 or 7 Phaeton tanks supplied by America to Pakistan. And he alone, Abdul Hamid, a Havaldar, destroyed 6 or 7 Phaeton tanks. The Pakistan should understand a lesson out of this. And there are many examples like this. Many Muslims are as patriot as any other Indian. But coming to Nepal, Nepal also shares 1,752 kilometers of border with India. In fact, Nepal wanted to join with the Indian Union. But unfortunately, our then Prime Minister took a wrong decision. He did not allow the Nepali king to join India. It remained an independent state. Of course, the only Hindu state in the world. Nepal has got a cultural relation, blood relation with the Indians. Though it is a separate country, it was treated till today a part and parcel of India. But recently, because of the Communist Party's government in Nepal, and the Communist government trend is towards China. And nowadays, unnecessary it is trying to have a quarrel with India too. But coming to Bhutan, Sikkim, Bhutan, Nepal, they are all connected to India culturally. Even Tibet also was connected to India culturally. When the Chinese have taken Tibet by force, and Dalai Lama came to India for political asylum. But anyway, it is a part and parcel of China now. Nowadays, there is a movement going on Tibet to get a freedom from Chinese clutch. But Nepal and Bhutan were very friendly, except recently Nepal is unnecessarily trying to have a quarrel with India. But it will repent for that very soon. And Myanmar, which was called Burma. In Burma also Britishers were ruling. India also was ruled by Britishers. China also was ruled by Britishers. But recently Burma had changed its name as Myanmar. We share border with Myanmar also. Our eastern states, which we call northeast sister states, 7 states, like Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, Tripura, all these small states, most of them share borders with the Myanmar. The total border shared is 1,458 kilometers. And there also was some kind of disturbance. Most of the times we had a peaceful relations with Myanmar, but recently because of Rohingya Muslims. Rohingyas created disturbance in Myanmar and they were thrown out of the country. They tried to enter Bangladesh. Bangladesh also was not ready to accept them, though they were also Muslims. But they entered into India by illegal means. They entered India. Even they have gone up to Kashmir, where the Sheikh Abdullah's Mukti, all these were rulers. They were very helpful to these Rohingyas and gave them the citizenship, issued them Aadhaar card, which is illegal, which is anti-Indian act. This was done by the then Kashmiri state government. But anyway, otherwise, the only problem is the Rohingyas. Otherwise, we have a good relation with Myanmar too. Bangladesh once, which was a East Pakistan. There was a West Pakistan and East Pakistan. In 1971, because of the atrocities done by the East Pakistan rulers and the army, Punjabi army, it was intolerable for East Pakistani people. There was an issue of language, there was an issue of culture. Because of all this, and one more reason, in 1971, Mujibur Rahman got the majority. Actually, he should have been the Prime Minister of Pakistan. But West Pakistani people did not allow an East Pakistani to become the Prime Minister of Pakistan. As a result, a disturbance started in East Pakistan. Mukti Wahini Fauj started fighting for a separate nation. Many refugees came to India. Crores together people came to India because of the atrocities done by the Pakistani army, and India has to enter into the matter. Of course, Indian forces helped the Mukti Wahini and it became a separate country called Bangladesh nowadays. By all means, India helped the new arise country, Bangladesh, by laying railway lines, by laying roads, repairing their buildings, repairing so many government offices. 99% the repairing work, improvement work was done by Indian government. So, Bangladesh government established. It shares a maximum border with India. 4,096 kilometers border we share with Bangladesh. It's a very zigzag border, very difficult border to control for our BSF men. Anyway, but recently the anti-Indian activities have also started in Bangladesh. Sometimes depends on the rulers. Some rulers like Sheikh Hasina, Mujibur Rahman. Sheikh Hasina is the daughter of Mujibur Rahman. Mujibur Rahman and Sheikh Hasina were very friendly to India. But rest of the rulers were not that friendly with India. They were pro-Pakistan. Even Bangladesh also is helping the terrorists to enter through Bangladesh and through Nepal. So nowadays we can't consider Nepal and Bangladesh also as friendly countries. Once, of course, they were friendly countries. But nowadays, because of the instigation of China, because of Pakistan, they also are helping the terrorists to enter into our country. So for Indian army, it is a very difficult task. Such a long border with these 7 countries. Even Afghanistan also shares border with us. The Afghanistan border is very less. It is only 106 kilometers. We have no direct conflict with Afghanistan. But terrorists are being trained by the fundamentalists in Pakistan. With the help of Pakistan, those fundamentalists trained in Afghanistan, they are also sent in India for starting terrorist activities, sabotage activities. So this is how it is a very difficult task for the Indian army to deal with all such a long border. Observe the long border. Keep a very strict vigil on the border. But in spite of this, terrorists are entering into our country. No any other country has got such a long border. This is a land border we are sharing with these countries. But there is a sea border also. Coastal line also is there. Through coastal line also, Pakistan is trying to send the terrorists into India through Kerala and some other places. Even the incident which took place in 1993 in Bombay, those terrorists, Kasab and all those people have come through sea only by using GPS. So this is how Indian armed forces are facing very, very difficulties to secure our border. So our intelligence should be very strong. Army, of course, it protects, but the plans of the enemy should be detected. And we also should make a counter plan against the enemy's plan. So our intelligence should be very strong. Of course, our RAW is doing its best. And NIA also is doing its best. All our intelligence agencies are doing their best. It's not sufficient. But all people of this country must think that it is the responsibility of each and every citizen to safeguard this country. We should be well aware of these terrorist activities, terrorists and our enemy countries. Even they want to put a loss to our business also. Army is not sufficient to guard all this. Each and every citizen of this country must aware that what is going on in our borders and how we should support our fighting forces, how we should support the forces which are vigilant on the border. In the same time, every citizen of this country should be vigilant inside the country. There are people who have established inside the country. Recently we find some people established in Bangalore also. Some people in Bombay, some people in Hyderabad. They have come and settled, made their pockets here, training Indians as terrorists. So that's why the country, to safeguard our country, every citizen, the responsibility of every citizen. Not directly he can fight, but he can at least give clue to the police people, our forces, so that they can take immediate action. To find out the people who are engaging in the sabotage activities, it goes months together, years together for the police department. But if the people are helpful, within no time, our police department can capture them and get the maximum information what is going on, what plan they are making. So anyway, should be proud of our ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡೋದು